Alright guys, so this is a different type of video that we have today, but I'm going to be showing you guys a definite strategy that you can use to potentially make literally hundreds of thousands of dollars within the crypto market after we have the bull run fully end, right? A lot of people speculate it's over already, but when looking at Bitcoin's chart, I still see bullish patterns forming. So I'm, of course, not willing to bet that we're going to be heading towards very low numbers anytime soon. However, it's important to get into a mindset of looking for opportunities that you can actually capitalize off if Bitcoin's actually going to make that move downwards. All right, so you guys should be able to see me here, but we're gonna move this. This was just so you guys are aware, I'm very new to technical analysis, hence why this, for a lot of you, might not seem to be the best, right? But in my opinion, that is good, but we're not looking at that today. I want to show you guys an opportunity that you can have within Bitcoin itself to potentially make hundreds of thousands of dollars, to potentially even just 5 figures in profits, or even a couple $1,000s in profits, simply by looking at one key thing. So let me go over to the 2020 to the 2021 run, which is of course right here, and talk about a possibility that could happen within this, of course, bull run. And I mean, it's more so it's bound to happen, but this is more so just an example of what you could actually end up capitalizing off of. Now, just for you guys to understand, nothing that I'm showing you here is A, financial advice, or B, going to be perfect. I'm just showing you a theory that I plan on executing from confirmation with those who have been in technical analysis for 8+ years. I'm going to be listening to them for an ideal entry. But to begin, let me go over the fact that we're talking about futures trading. So normal trades, you'll buy in, and let's say you have $1,000. Well, your $1,000 would control that position. For example, if I bought $1,000 of Bitcoin at $100,000, well, if it goes up 10%, if Bitcoin was to go up to 110,000, I'd have $1,100. But with leverage trading, which is what we're going to be talking about here, if I have $1,000 and I go to a leverage trading platform and I predict that move to happen, so I say, okay, I think Bitcoin's going to move up 10%. Well, what I can do is I can do leverage, where I take that $1,000 position and I do 10x leverage. So meaning now I'm controlling a $10,000 position due to leverage. However, there's a con to that, but basically what that allows me to do is, if that 10% increase happens, I'll have essentially made $1,000, because 10% of $10,000 is $1,000. So on the flip side though, of course, if that starts to tank and it goes down 10%, Bitcoin goes from 10,000 to like 90,000, right? Well, then you lose that $1,000 you'd invest. Whereas for you to lose $1,000, normally it'd be pretty impossible, because it would just keep getting cut in half into smaller and smaller amounts. So that right there is how leverage trading works. But let me show you how powerful it actually can be if you're able to kind of look and say, okay, here's the top, and then you can actually go ahead and make insane amounts of money. You can even make a lot of money right here. So we're looking at the day chart of Bitcoin, and I'm going to explain just a couple of things to you guys who might not know. And like I said, I'm very, very, very new to technical analysis. Therefore, I'm not going to really be able to give you the best advice, but I can at least show you guys my best look at this. So right here, we're going to call this our trend line. Right, so basically what this is it's essential structure. So for bullish structure, you have higher highs and higher lows. So we have a higher high here, which breaks the previous structure here, and then this is followed by a higher low, higher high, higher low, if you want to call that there. Higher high, I'd say that's still a higher low. We actually do fall below that, but you could have really said, okay, we could have just considered this our low and this our high, and then of course that's still greater than this. But then we have again a new move up with a new low, and then this is where things get interesting. We have another higher high, but look what happens here. Boom, we fall below that lower or that higher low, and we make a lower low. Now, in situations like this really depends, on what you're seeing around the charts. But more specifically, what we end up having happening here. I'm sorry, I can't talk. We have us continue below that higher low, and we keep forming lower lows. Now, there's other structures you can see. We try to make a break to maybe have a potential move up there, but it's very weak and it gets rejected. And that's what starts one of the biggest bear markets within crypto. So basically, let's say you're able to really analyze this easy pattern, and you really wouldn't have been able to bet right here that we'd be that the market would be going down. You do see liquidity sweeps occurring there, but basically, guys, if you're able to find an area, right? So we break that structure here, it confirms it with another move down, etc. There's probably fair value gaps there that were bearish fair value gaps, right? There's probably fair value gap above here that got touched. We'd probably be able to see one, and I'm not going to be explaining fair value gaps in this video, but yeah, I honestly don't see a fair value gap here. But there probably is one. Just to preface, again, I'm new, but I understand the basic fundamentals. So basically what happens is, again, price wicks up, market makers are able to get better positions even more, to have sell orders, in which, again, that break of structure moves down. And even if you don't fully understand this, I'd recommend just watching videos on basic technical analysis, like break of structure, higher highs, higher lows, like starting to understand that basic stuff, fair value gaps, order blocks, understanding that stuff. But the reason for that is because, again, if you were to somehow be able to go ahead and predict, hey, this area right here is the top, I think we're going to be very bearish. And again, there's a lot more indicators that go into it. You can see that was into 2024. However, how significant is this actually? Well, again, we can short this position, which means we're betting the price is going down. We have 10x leverage. And I'll give you a couple examples. So again, let's say this area right here, we say, okay, this looks like a good area. And we're not going to go over specific TPs, but I just want to show you the amount that you could have made if you would have just sold at the bottom or even an area close. Like, that's not even fully touching the bottom. So basically, we set, usually you want your stop loss, set above, that previous high or whatever. Actually, you'd probably want it above that high or even that low. Anyways, yeah, I'd say above that high. So you'd be down 20% in the position. However, yeah, you probably wouldn't want to do that. But point being, again, I'm not the one to show you where the stop losses is. I'm just showing you an opportunity that you can go out and learn and potentially be able to find the top and then utilize a strategy like this where you then are able to make very, very massive rewards. Because again, look at this move down. If you would have caught simply, not even if you would have caught this move, because again, that's not really confirmation. And actually, now that I look at it, this move right here, I guess you would have been able to see right there. Like, you see where that choppiness is. So you could have even caught it a little higher, but literally shorting this and just not looking at it. This was a period of from November to April. So November of 2021 to April of 2022. Look what happened, guys. Your risk reward ratio is 5.87, but the big thing here to look at that target number at the very bottom. It says 72.39%. 72.39%, guys. Like, for you guys to understand, again, let's see if I can get a brush. So 72 72% right here. And if you remember, we have that 72%. If we were to short that with 1x leverage, meaning we have an $1,000 position, well, what's $1,000 times 1? You're controlling $1,000 position. That's it. You're not really leveraging much of anything. You're not leveraging anything besides your $1,000, but with perpetuals, you're still able to short even with 1x leverage. Meaning that on that move down, you would have made $720, assuming you did not take any TP1, 2, 3, which is definitely recommended. But you were able to get a nice chunk of that bottom. You would have made $1,720. Now, let's say, and let me actually take off some of this. Just take this off. Now, we're going to do the same exact thing. However, this time, we're going to do 10x leverage. So 10x leverage, well, instead of controlling that $1,000 position, we're now controlling a $10,000 position. So I'm not even going to write out the 10,000, but we're controlling a $10,000 position. Well, off of your $1,000, since this is a 72% move down, you would have made $7,200, because remember, price in this essence, we're controlling a $10,000 position. Well, 72% of that is $7,200. So our leverage is 10x, and now we're controlling $10,000 position. Well, on that move down, assuming you would have caught it and not taken profits, you would have made a 7x on your investment simply off of Bitcoin. And keep in mind that so many other altcoins are going to get absolutely slaughtered. I mean, those will have the worst downtrends. You'll have coins going down 200% if you really wanted to short those. If you could find the top for that as well, that could be immensely rewarding. But I'm just showing you guys Bitcoin. Now, let's say you guys came and you had 10 grand to put in. You had 10 grand. So now instead of a $10,000 position on 10x, or a $1,000 position on 10x would be 10,000. A $10,000 position on 10x leverage is a $100,000 position. Well, what happens in this essence is that $100,000 position, well, what's 72% of $100,000? $72,000 is what you would make off of that move down, off of $10,000, guys. So I'm showing you this, and of course this would be over not too long period of time. I'm showing you guys this simply due to the fact that this is an immense opportunity. It's that if you can identify the top, there's definitely going to be a very, very harsh fall down from there. Even if it's a 20% gain you make, again, 20% off that $100,000 position is still $20,000 you made within the span of around 5-6 months. But if you really wanted to risk it, let's say, I wonder if there's an eraser tool. I don't think there is. Sorry about that. But let's say you wanted to do big baller move and you decide to do 50x leverage. Now, remember, that causes a lot of risk, but if you're very confident in the setup, well, 50x leverage on $10,000, guys, is a $500,000 position. And instead of 72 grand, well, 500,000, 70% of that, you guys would have made 3 off of, remember, this is off of simply 10 grand. You would have made $350,000 off of 50x leverage. However, keep in mind, if you had entered the short here for whatever reason and it wicked up, it takes a lot less for you to lose your entire position the higher the leverage you go. So you would have got stopped, lost out. And instead of having $10,000 in the position, well, you're liquidated, meaning that goes to zero. However, if you would have caught it right here, do you see it ever reapproaching that position? No. So you would have just been fine. You would have literally rode that wave down. And I mean, even if you took profits, you're still well above over 150 grand. So that's the power of leverage trading. And again, if we pull up what we have currently, and I have right now things showing about where I see Bitcoin going in the future. But where I have things, if you're able to catch this right now, or whenever people expect this to happen, let me go back to the hour chart. You could do the exact same thing, and this move down could be around that 50% and could be very, very beneficial for you to actually risk that short position. So just to keep in mind, guys, that is something that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be shorting the top because, again, you guys can see how much you can make just off of that, and you literally just leave it sit for 4 or 5 months, however long the drawdown lasts, and you're able to make a lot of money from that. So that's just something I at least wanted to share with you guys so you can check it out. But yeah, more so to get your thoughts on it and to show you guys the possibility that it does have. So with all that being said, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I do hope you genuinely took something from this. Again, that's just what I think we could see within the markets. And yeah, I mean, timing that top, shorting that. Again, even with $1,000, if you do $1,000, 25x leverage, $25,000 position, yeah, you could still walk away with over $10,000 over the span of 4 or 5 months. It's still something, because like most people, they'll lose money in a bear market because they'll just ride their backs down their spots. However, you can short it and make a lot more money. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. I'll see you later.